Hello Cancer, Happy New Year to you. Welcome to your General Tarot card reading for January 2019. We have following cards here. We have Seven of Cups, we have Four of Cups, we have Six of Cups, we have Two of Cups, Ace of Wands, the Tower, the Hangman and the Hierophant. So your reading for January, Cancer, it's starting from array of different type of cups over here. And cups, they are talking about emotions. They are talking about how we express ourselves and what sometimes our hopes and fears, how they're going to kind of present themselves. So the Seven of Cups might be indicating that at times it is easy to become absorbed in tiny details in life, trying to make sure that everything is in order and controlled. So the Seven of Cups might be encouraging you here, Cancer, to relax a little bit and not spending too much time and energy focus on the small things. Might be also prompting you to letting go and welcome some kind of unpredictability into your life by breaking your regular patterns and routines, to become a little bit more spontaneous. That's for one. It's also might be representing several opportunities that might present themselves, and it's up to you to choose for which of them you would like to go for and prioritize them. Equally might be representing kind of contentment, wanting more from life that you currently have, because in a way this card is containing various symbolic objects here, such as snake, castle, dragon-like creature, so on and so forth, jewels, this head of the young man. So this is showing potential things that you would like to go for, things that you would like to realize in your life, and you might not have them. And that might be, and is just might be, something that's going to prevent you from focusing on your true objectives, and this might be, in other words, too much of choice, and too much of choice might be creating a little bit too much of confusion. So basically the suggestion over here is to try to narrow your focus, and maybe instead of focusing on things that will be nice to have, is to focus on things that kind of more in and now, kind of more down to earth. And remember that even though we might not have control overall in of the entirety of our lives, that there are certain things that we can control, at least in some areas. That's for one. And then strangely enough, we have the Four of Cups. So even though with the Seven of Cups we see this abundance of choices, those possibilities, those things that sometimes unconsciously you might be driven towards to, the Four of Cups is indicating some kind of disconnection. So for one hand, there are things that you ideally would like to go for. And then if they're going to present themselves, you might be overlook them because they might not necessarily be packaged in a way how you would like them to be packaged. And because on the first glance they don't appear as you would like them to be, you might disregard them. There is a possibility over here. Equally, the Four of Cups might be talking about some kind of feeling of boredom, kind of feeling of, you might have a feeling of that the grass is greener on other side. I think this is also about the focus, Cancer, over here. It's what you're going to choose to focus on. Because as you can see, this man's arms are being crossed. And the arms being crossed not because he's happy and contented with what he has, it's rather because he's not open to receive. And maybe on some emotional level, you might be very difficult to approach. You might be, requiring all the singing and dancing around you, and it's very difficult to satisfy your expectations. So this is something that maybe, and it's just maybe for you to consider here, Cancer, in terms of how you come across, what your expectations are. Equally, Cancer, sometimes the Four of Cups might be talking about you feeling or you having a sense of apathy, and for some of you even a betrayal, and because of that, this might be preventing you from seeking a new and maybe more positive paths in your life. That's for one. And basically, there's another thing that kind of came through, that nothing can be gained from comparing yourself to others. And would you be able actually take some of the risks that other people are taking in order to kind of they're willing to take to be where they are? So that's for one. So this might be also regarding some kind of new offer that might be coming your way. They're going to present itself, but you might be simply unwilling to consider. So this is really up to you. That it's kind of your call, how you choose to see certain things and how open you choose to be. So in terms of Six of Cups over here, Six of Cups, it's usually talking about things that have been. They are talking about nostalgia, looking back on how things used to be, and sometimes it might take you back to your childhood memories and down the memory lane. And Six of Cups in this spread for you, Cancer, is important. It kind of comes as a reminder that it is important to not spend too much time and effort thinking about the good old days, the happy memory. They are memories. Their place is in the past. So Six of Cups coming to kind of tell you that whatever your take might be, you sometimes might be looking at the past from the perspective of rose-tinted glasses. So for some of you Cancers as well, you might have this very strange kind of feeling that the best of the years have that behind you. And if you're going to have that kind of take or attitude, the Six of Cups is telling you, well, this might become a self-fulfilling prophecy. So you have to be very basically be aware what you're thinking, and if you really have that kind of attitude, the indication is here that it might be worthwhile to revisit this kind of way of thinking, or actually the belief, because that kind of falls down to the realm of your beliefs, Cancer. So in terms of Two of Cups, it's a beautiful card. Two of Cups is indicating harmony, is indicating partnership. Quite often a romantic partnership is indicating very strong pull. It also indicating exchange of contracts. It's also consolidation, being able to find common ground, unity, also rekindling, coming together. So this is very interesting card, and usually it's indicating things going well for you and overcoming struggles and difficulties. In terms of the Ace of Wands is very strong cards. Aces that they represent energy of one, the new beginning, and wands, they're representing this kind of energy of life. And whenever the Ace of Wands is showing in a reading, is a very positive sign. It's meaning, or it's my representing some kind of accomplishment. Sometimes that they might be relating to the work and career kind of realm, but also it might be something that is given to you, an opportunity, an opening coming your way. It's some kind of idea. You might all of a sudden feel extremely driven, being outbeat and optimistic and hopeful about your future. So this is very energetic card coming your way, and you might have this kind of feel of, also it might be indicating security or something that is long-term going to be secure. However, having said that, you have a Tower, and the Tower moment, it's all about sometimes I would say, more or less in your case, Cancer over here, divine intervention, stroke of fate, or liberation. Let's call it this way, because the Tower, it's showing in its I try to kind of explain it from kind of different angle. I would say that for you, Cancer, it might be kind of more indication of shedding of old layers and removing the bits of you that, or kind of attitudes about life that is not longer serving you. And more often than not, the Tower might be this kind of enlightening moment in your life, or illumination, because as you can see that there's this kind of lightning striking this Tower. And even though the background of this card is dark and there's people that are falling down, more often than not, this is indicating a positive change that might occur suddenly, and it's going to be kind of silver lining. It's going to be in long term and long run extremely beneficial to you. It's going to change the circumstances of things that were no longer conducive, and because of that, might kind of bring you, or is going to force you to look at things from different perspective, and change your ways, the way how you were carrying yourself, or the way how you believed was serving you, but in a matter of fact it wasn't. It's kind of life's way of pointing you in the right direction. And you have a hangman next to it, and because of this sudden change of circumstances, you might find yourself being on a crossroads, and you might kind of being torn between two options, kind of in and out, yes or no, up and down, and you might find yourself kind of in a position of waiting because you're not sure what to do. You might not have a clear idea how you're going to go about it. And if that is indeed going to be the case for you, Cancer, in January, let go of any attempts of trying to control the situation or people or things around you. Sometimes, and because you have this hangman next to the tower, quite often hangman comes to signify kind of sacrifice that has to be made in order to something positive to come your way. So it's, once again, there's a very strong message of letting go, and willing to look at things from a different perspective, and kind of realize that the change that is coming your way or just came into your life actually will serve you, and it's going to serve you way much better. That it's going to be more beneficial than presumably you would anticipate, and presumably some kind of strange realization might come your way that it's going to serve your interest the best if you're going to be willing to change or go with the change and let it go. And on the very end of your reading, the last card is the Hierophant. And Hierophant is this card talking about tradition and about doing the right thing, and actually standing for yourself and what you believe in. But equally, the Hierophant is representing traditional ways of being, kind of guidance, kind of system, and talking about the rules, and is talking about organized way of being, and I think in this particular case the Hierophant is going to serve you as set of values that you will be willing to accommodate in order to move forward over here, Cancer. In terms of what to focus on, we have a Ten of Pentacles over here, and the Ten of Pentacles, it's kind of talking about, or is representing this kind of idea that everything in life runs in cycles. And the old cycle is coming to the end and completion, and the new one is about to begin. So this is very much relating to the Ace of Wands and the Tower and the Hangman, to kind of emphasize on transition and the purpose of this transition, but also what the Ten of Pentacles is also indicating to focus on this month, Cancer. It's about what you have and appreciate what you have, everything coming from your family to your home to your domestic life, your friends, and everything that you managed to gather thus far. In terms of additional commentary to this reading, we have this rune, and this rune is called Otala. And Otala, it's kind of double-edged rune, because for one, she's talking about separation and withdrawal, but also about inheritance and material wealth. So one would say that Otala is referring to this idea of the old skin that has to be shed. Once again, this is all about the renewal, things that are outdated, such as relationships, certain relationships. They might be referring everything from romantic relationships to relationships that we have with our jobs and money. And it's talking about those relationships need to be given up sometimes, and sometimes they can be subject of rather radical separation, and withdrawal as a necessary means. But also this room is talking about knowing how to and when to withdraw, and determination in order to succeed, to end one cycle and begin new one. In terms of profits, property, this is kind of referring of abandoning some kind of way, also how you perceive material wealth, and that is interesting, very interesting. If we're going to look at the meaning of Ten of Pentacles, telling you about the cycles, and the Tower and the Hangman, kind of referring to this to the kind of same message, saying that the old has to kind of come to its natural end. It's either going to be coming naturally into your life, or either sometimes it's going to be forced upon you. So nevertheless, Cancer, it looks as January going to be extremely interesting month for you, full of new beginnings and new opportunities. So I would like to say a massive thank you for tuning in, and bye for now. If this reading has resonated with you, please like, comment and subscribe to my channel. If you would like to book a private reading with me, please feel free to go to my website www.tarotwithmishka.co.uk, or alternatively you can email me at mishka@tarotwithmishka.co.uk. If you'd like to find me on Facebook, just simply type in Tarot with Mishka. I would like to say a massive thank you for tuning in, and bye for now.